Good morning, guys. Your topic for today's lesson is box plots, otherwise known as box and whisker graphs. This is a brand new type of graph you have never seen before, and some of you already have been having trouble with the lesson. And so today's lesson is on box plots, and tomorrow's lesson is actually also on box plots. So I wanted to make sure that you understand this type of graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to go over the notes that I would have given you if we had been in class together, because maybe that might help you. And then I'm going to show you how to actually make a box plot out of some numbers. So this is the notes, and I will put these on Schoology. If you want to actually be able to write these notes, you could print them off, or you could download it to your computer maybe and write on it that way. So if that's something that's helpful for you, I will go ahead and upload these to Schoology. So the definition of a box plot is that it is a graph that shows how far apart and how evenly data are distributed. Now, that's not super important for what we're doing today, but that is what a box plot is. This next part, this is super important. Now, the box plots that you're going to see on Odysseyware, instead of these dots down here, they have a line. So I'll just change that to be a line. But other than that, it's the same thing. So the line or the dot that's all the way to the left, this is called your minimum. That's just the lowest number. So if they give you a set of data, the lowest number in that set is the minimum. And on the other side is going to be your highest number, or your maximum. That's the highest. Those are the two easiest things to find. If you're looking for any of these things, you really need to start by putting the numbers in order from least to greatest, which I'll show you when I make an actual box plot. So you have all your numbers least to greatest. The one all the way to the left is your minimum. The one all the way to the right is your maximum. The one in the very middle is the median. So in your median lesson the other day and in my video, we learned median is in the middle. That's your middle number. And so on this graph, our minimum was 15. We see that right here. Our maximum was 29. Notice our median is in the middle of 21 and 22. So that's about 21.5. And then the last two things that we have are the lower quartile and the upper quartile. And I apologize for the handwriting. It's hard to write on here. So lower quartile and upper quartile. We'll talk about what those are in a minute, but to find it on the graph, it's just the left and right side of the box. So the line in the very middle is your median. The line on the side of the box is your lower quartile, and then the one on the other side of the box is your upper quartile. That being said, what is a quartile? Well, you'll notice that quartile starts with the prefix QUAR. So other things that start with that are quarter or quart. A quarter, there's 4 quarters in a dollar, there's 4 quarts in a gallon. So that is a prefix that means 4. A quadrilateral starts with a very similar prefix, and so that's got 4 sides. So this is 4 equal parts. So this right here is 25% of the data. This right here is 25%. This is 25%, and this is 25%. So 4 equal parts. The lower quartile is the median of the lower half of data. The median of the lower half of data. So the median splits all the data in half. The lower quartile is splitting this half in half, and then the upper quartile is going to do the same thing on this side. We're splitting the top half of the numbers in half. So that's the median of the upper half. Interquartile range, you're not going to see that in today's lesson, but you will see it in tomorrow's lesson, so it's still important. So the interquartile range is the difference, so we're going to be subtracting, between the upper quartile and the lower quartile. So last week you learned about range. For range, you take your biggest number, your maximum, and you subtract your smallest number, your minimum. Interquartile range is the same thing, except you're only doing this part right here. And I drew this line wrong earlier. Ignore that. Upper quartile is right here. So you take your upper quartile, which in this case is 25, and you subtract your lower quartile, which was 19. So 25 minus 19 equals 6. So on this one, our interquartile range was 6. I know that was kind of confusing. That was just a very brief overview of box plots, but that should give you some help. And again, you can always watch this video over again if you're not sure about some of the things. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and I'm going to make another video about how to actually make a box plot, because you do have to do that on, I believe, tomorrow's assignment.